It's a free game, and it's a free non-gacha game. Holy fuck, you are fried in the brain. It's not only, chat, I need y'all to understand this. I'm serious. This is not me running defense. This is objective, nigga. This is literally objective. It's not only free, it's a free non-gacha. I'm sorry, I think it has a little bit of leeway here.
Part of me is like breathing a sigh of relief that 1.1 wasn't like a woo-wah 2.0, because now that means I don't have to interact with this community anymore.
Guys, the duality of gamers nowadays is some crazy shit we're dealing with. What's good? It's your boy CJ, and today we're going to talk about the duality of gamers. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because of, well, Duet Night Abyss, Withering Waves, Genshin Impact, and all of these games. But you guys are going to see how it really applies to the game you're probably watching me for now. With that said, we've had about a week to really put our hands into Duet Night Abyss, and we've pretty much experienced the 1.1 patch, and we can honestly say it's an okay patch. It's not the greatest patch of all time, and matter of fact, we're still doing the same thing that we were doing a month ago. It's pretty much a foundational patch. It's just there to add things to the game's core rather than expand on what the game could really offer us. But that's fine. That's things that I believe DNA has to do, but that's besides the point. Where am I going with this whole duality of gamers nowadays? We have some people online nowadays that will attack one game with raging passion.
I accept a sponsor from DNA, and these pussy ass niggas is still mad. It's like, brother, what are we doing?
While simultaneously having a rocking hard, raging hard-on for a different game, despite both of them having their flaws, having their issues. But it seems that when it comes to the game they like, they completely overlook those things, right? So, I want to talk about right now, first off, I want to tell you guys this. If you're ever thinking of trying a game, and the game is free, especially if the game is free, stop going to YouTube to ask people what they think. Stop looking online. Stop going to Reddit. Stop going to Facebook. Stop going to X. Stop going to all these pages to see what all these people think. Especially if the game is free, just download it and give it a try. Because the amount of biased players online, the amount of misinformation that gets dropped is absolutely insane. And it will actually prevent some people from trying something they might like. And if it's free and you can just download it and play, what's the worst that can happen? You don't like it and you uninstall. That's it, right? So, the reason I really wanted to talk about this is because, as we know, the 1.1 update for Duet Night Abyss got absolutely shitted on. When it first came out, the first week, I kid you not, the amount of people dropping shit reviews, just hate bombs, misinformation, and all of that was all over the place, right? It didn't matter if this was a small gaming company. It didn't matter if the devs were very vocal about, them knowing that the game did not, come out as well as they would have wanted to. It didn't matter if the devs were telling us, yes, we're working on improving the game. We understand there's a lot of issues, but we're still trying. It didn't matter if the devs dropped 1,000 fixes continuously almost every day, improving the game and the quality of the game. None of that mattered. All that mattered was that a lot of these people wanted to attack Duet Night Abyss. Some of them hadn't even played the game. Matter of fact, some of them hadn't even looked at actual gameplay of the 1.1 update. All they did was, yo, I heard that Ricky told Jay, who told Bobby, who told Jay, and it just went all around that the game sucked. That's pretty much what a lot of these people were doing, and I found it really funny. The narrative online was actually insane, and it started to paint this really bad picture of Duet Night Abyss, right? And I'm gonna just be real with y'all. I love Duet Night Abyss, and I love a lot of other games. I've been enjoying a lot of other games on the side, and one of the games that I like and I currently play that falls under this duality is Withering Waves. Matter of fact, I just S6'd my Lene, so before any Withering Waves fanatics, body pillow lovers come at me, because what I'm about to say is just truth, understand that if you haven't S6'd your characters, we ain't on the same level of how much we're out here actually supporting Kuro games, okay? There's levels to this shit. So I'm actually supporting Kuro games. I love the game, but we gotta keep shit real, okay? So a lot of these people, and I'll be sure to post either videos or post images as I'm talking to, give more context to what I'm saying. We're absolutely shitting on Duet Night Abyss when it dropped, right? When it dropped and when 1.1 dropped, we're talking about they were just absolutely cooking the game. There's a lot of players that still hop into Duet Not Abyss and they don't know what they're getting into, so they'll still crap on the game, and that's fine. A lot of people walk into this thinking it's going to be your usual, gacha type anime type game where they log in, they play a little bit, and then they only got to play for like 5 minutes a day, and then they'll be able to pretty much get everything done, and then they can hop off. Where I gotta be real, if you're still thinking that about Duet Not Abyss 2 months into the game, you got to check yourself. This is a grind-based game, a horde-based game, a looter-shooter type of game. You're going to be grinding for hours and hours and hours on it, and you're going to be killing hordes of enemies, hordes, and you're not going to be doing quick time parry event, dodging and weave, and all of these hordes. You're probably just going to be using your skill to just destroy hordes and hundreds of these mobs. That's just how it works, and the grind is real, right? But when it comes to a lot of these other players and a lot of these other people, it seems that they don't care. They're still attacking Duet Night Abyss regardless. So we have people like the post I'm about to show that were attacking 1.1 when it first came out, right? It didn't matter what it is that the game did. Sometimes they didn't even know, right? And at the same time, these same people would stand, love, and eat the booty hole of Withering Waves. We're talking about like tongue deep into that booty hole when it came to Withering Waves, how it was the greatest game of all time and shit didn't stink. Look at all these other players. And I understand drama farming is very juicy nowadays. I understand that. But at the same time, at least make the bait credible. You gotta at least make it seem like you're not trying to rage bait and then get some people's interactions rather than just seeming like a weird basement dweller person, because at that point it just makes me feel sad about you, bro, right? I'm gonna just be real. And there's so many of these. The amount of Reddit posts, the amount of crap being spewed regarding Duet Night Abyss is crazy. And once again, I'm not glazing Duet Night Abyss. Duet Night Abyss, even to this point, I'll say it's still half cooked. It still needs a lot of work and a lot of improvement to get where it needs to be. But we fast forward to the launch of 3.0 for Withering Waves, and the same, WUWA players that be loving up on the game completely disappeared. Despite the fact that Withering Waves 3.0 has dropped with some of the biggest bugs, some of the biggest issues, and some of the biggest problems since the launch of Withering Waves.
It appears that Withering Waves 3.0, its list of bugs, its list of bug fixes, its list of massive issues that have come with the launch of the new patch, the new region, Lahai, it appears that that list that you can clearly see over here, that's already massive and filled with fixes that they've already made to the game, guys. It appears that some more bugs are still to be found. I've already actually made a previous video where I covered the fact that... Oh, great. I found another bug. Oh, opening and closing that shit made everything unfucking clickable. Awesome. Great. Okay, I need to restart my client.
But these same people don't be calling it out. And I'm not talking about everybody. There are people that keep it very straightforward and keep the same type of energy for all these games, right? That will call out one game and call out the other. But there's a lot of other people that seem to just not mention that, right? And not only that, but the mass public seems to just, oh, it's fine because it's Withering Waves. It's such a great game. It's so much better than Duet Night Abyss, right? Well, at the same time, we're comparing a company that has way more experience, has had multiple games, makes millions upon millions of dollars every single month, and has a much bigger company to work on the game, and it still has released with an insane amount of bugs. Yet the people don't seem to talk about this, right? The people don't seem to keep the same energy. Some do, most don't, right? And I find it really funny how we hold Duet Night Abyss to this insane standard that it has to be the most absolutely breathtaking, perfect experience. And then when another game that actually has the budget, the resources, the developers, and everything to make the perfect experience has some issues, nobody calls it out. It's fine. There's no problem whatsoever. Nobody, not nobody, a lot of people, right? I just find that absolutely crazy. We have creators that, whether they're sponsored or not, will actually give this game a try and call out the good and call out the bad. Creators like Gacha Smack. He made a very interesting stream where he gave his takes about the game and overall let us know what he was thinking.
Bro, niggas mad, bro. Chat. Of course he has a Withering Waves profile pic. Of course he has a Withering Waves profile pic, dog. Okay, so like I need y'all to understand this. This is gonna come off as if I'm running defense for DNA, but I'm not. I'm just telling it like it is. Chat. It's not a gacha game, bro. It's a grindy game. And I think everything about this game is just unfortunate because it was promoted as a gacha game, which means it attracted a lot of gacha players. And then it pivoted into something parallel to y'all know the game I'm talking about. It's doing amazing, by the way. That game's fucking popping off right now. It pivoted into that. And that goes against everything gacha players like. It goes against everything. And so I think some of these guys just go into the patch expecting it to give them things without them playing the game. I think Jenna said this shit best, but he was like, basically, like games like this, they expose gacha players. That's all. It just expose them because the gacha players, everything they cry about points to grind. That's not to say that DNA doesn't have its issues. It does. It absolutely has its issues. But these niggas just whine about shit like this. Like 14 runs didn't get a single copy of the new character uninstall. Brother, at least you can fucking grind for the character, my guy. And here's the other thing, guys. DNA is not a fucking it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a game you play every now and then at your own pace. You know what I mean? This is not a game where you're going to get on there and get all the shit you need in one day because you prepared or whatever the fuck you thought. Brother, you play it month over month, whenever the fuck you want and whatever time you put in on it. Like there's no timeline. You can get that character whenever you want. It's not like she's gone for good once the banner shit goes away. They're just going to put her inside of a boss rerun and you're just going to play it at your own expense. It's not even a streaming game, I would say, either. It's just people are so gacha pilled, they can't fathom how a regular game is supposed to function that's a looter shooter. And I think this is a massive problem for DNA, unfortunately, because it used to market itself as a gacha game. And so it kind of put itself in a position where it is inevitably going to receive these niggas crying. It's a free game, and it's a free non-gacha game. Holy fuck, you are fried in the brain. It's not only, chat, I need y'all to understand this. I'm serious. This is not me running defense. This is objective, nigga. This is literally objective. It's not only free, it's a free non-gacha. I'm sorry, I think it has a little bit of leeway here.
Now, as we move past that, we're looking at multiple games. It's not just about DNA. It's not just about WUWA. It's not just about whatever other games you're thinking. It's about the fact that the expectations for DNA are astronomical. Everybody seems to bring up, oh, just because they removed gacha doesn't mean this or doesn't mean that. Look, yes, they removed gacha. That's great. That is a big aspect as to why a lot of us play the game. But that's not everything, right? Like I said, I just S6 Lene and I have multiple, bro, I have like 10 S6 R5 characters on my WUWA account, right? But it's not just about the characters. It's about the fact that whenever I log into, games like Genshin, ZZZ, Withering Waves, I love those games, but I hop in and I can only play for 5 minutes to actually get progress. And then after that, it's going to be running around, picking mint, picking echoes, and not really doing anything that's productive. Whereas in Duet Not Abyss, I can sit down and grind and actually progress my account. I don't care if 80% of that grind is AFK. I don't care if 80% of that grind is chilled, laid back, you know, killing mobs of enemies that for the most part can't do much to me because I'm so strong at this point. I don't care. I enjoy the grind. I come from games like RuneScape, chat. If you know what those games are all about, you know what I'm talking about, right? RuneScape was the GOAT, where we would sit for hours literally cutting trees. That's what we would do, or mining. That's what we would do. So I don't mind the grind. I played games like Warframe, where there's a lot of, you know, repetitive grind, horde modes of things. You're just killing for loot and loot and loot. That's fine. The misconception still comes from people wanting their games to play a certain way. People wanting DNA to play like WoWa. People wanting DNA to play like Genshin. We have variety. We have all the different things, right? So understand that when you come into it and try to keep the same energy, because the duality is actually insane. 3.0 for Withering Waves right now is insanely buggy. The first day I went into the game, I got on the bike and my character disappeared. It's on stream if you don't believe me. And I was like, wait, what? Now I'm hearing there's a bunch of bugs with Linnaeus, like Kid or Echoes or something along those lines. And there's a bunch of bug fixes, which I personally think it's fine, right? If anybody thinks that a game should come out absolutely perfect, especially a live service game, without needing any bugs, patch fixes, or anything like that, you're living in a fairy tale world, right? That's just dumb, right? I have no problem with games coming out with some bugs and you know, issues that the devs will address and fix rather quickly. I think it's fine, but I keep the same energy for WoWa as I do for DNA. If we're going to be holding DNA, a game with much smaller company and resources and a lot less money, to such high standards where if they drop with a couple of bugs, it's just game over. They suck. Right? If they drop a game mode that is either a little bit too hard for casuals, for brand new players, we gotta keep that same energy for the brand new game mode that just dropped in Withering Waves. It's too hard for brand new players. Matter of fact, brand new players can't even do it. Right? They can't even do it. So when we look at things like that, we gotta keep the same energy, man. Because some of y'all be acting like straight up bitches, bro. Like, y'all be out here acting like some hoes, acting like, you know, you want to start some drama. And listen, I get y'all. I get drama views pay. I get drama on Twitter pays. But keep that same energy. And before anybody turns this shit into something, and I know some people haven't even made it this far into the video, I just want to give a big shout out, despite some of the wrong takes and misinformation being dropped, to some of the people out there that have actually gone out and kept somewhat of the same energy regarding this. If you're one of those, respect to you, you know, keep that up. I want to give a shout out to, for example, Saint Tontas. He actually, even though he dropped the video on DNA that was kind of shitty, he did drop videos calling out the BS going on with Withering Waves and all its bugs. So things like that, I respect. You know, you got to keep it real. People like me, I'll call out the BS in Duet Not Abyss, things that they need to improve, things that they got to make better, things that I'm not really rocking with, things where I think the developers kind of messed up. And I'll do the same thing for Withering Waves. Despite that, I'm not a basement dweller, so I still enjoy these games for what they offer. If I get tired of the, you know, grind and monotonous types of, you know, missions that we have in DNA, I'll hop onto WoWa and start parry, dodging, and weaving, and, you know, doing all these cool animations to fight some bosses. If I get tired of that, I'll hop into an MMO and run around the open world with my friends, grinding it out. At the end of the day, enjoy games for what they are. Keep them on the same level, though. Keep them on the same level, ladies and gentlemen. And try to make sure that if there's a game that you're semi-interested on, give it a try, especially if it's free. That's really it for this rant, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about the duality of gamers nowadays. People just trying to rage bait and make some quick clout and quick bucks off of some BS, and not keeping that same vibe when it comes to these games. I really want to hear what you guys got to say regarding all of this in the comment section below. So for now, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.